Quarantine live from the Nation of Domination. I am King V. As always, I have Mike with me. And welcome to another episode of Go for the Pin.
Yes, sir.
So this has been before I do that, how are you, Mike?
I've been better, but I'm getting through it, trying to. But yeah, I've been better. It's I know what this show's about. I know what this show's about, but it's been a rough week.
It's been a very rough week.
More than others, because we've been dealing with. Again, I don't want to get into it too much, but we've been dealing with a lot. I
said, I agreed that I wasn't going to get political. It's been a heavy week.
Yeah, it has.
People that like us, it's been a heavy week.
Right.
And we're just going to leave it at that. Well, not leave the heaviness because we got a little bit more to talk about. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It's just been a heavy week in general for most people, for everybody in general.
Right. Yeah.
So, first and foremost, I want to send my condolences to the family, friends, and fans of... I'm so sorry if I've practiced, and I don't want to butcher your name, ma'am. I really don't. But of Hannah Kimura.
I believe that's correct.
I got that correct. And trigger warning, I will be talking about something that would be a little bit triggering. She did take her own life last week at the age of 22.
Man.
So that's super sad. It's terrible, Let me talk about a piece of shit. Sorry, we're just gonna go ahead and speak on another person in wrestling that I don't like. So Sunny. So after the young lady took her life,
yeah.
The resident trash bag, the original WWE diva Sunny, decided to comment on things that we didn't ask her for.
Right.
And basically her comments in general implied that she was weak for taking her life. Stating that she's been through worse.
Wow.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to keep it quick. I'm going to keep it brief. I don't even know if Mike knows this. Okay. As someone who's attempted 3 different times on 3 different occasions, wanting to do such things doesn't make you weak. Finding the strength to keep going is what makes you strong. So Hannah wasn't weak.
Right.
And Sunny, girl, okay, your story and her story are 2 different stories. Just because you've been through what you've been through and you decided not to go that route, despite of how shitty you've been, doesn't mean you can comment on someone for doing what they felt was their only option.
Yeah.
So, Sunny?
Yeah, I didn't know. One, I didn't know about Sunny's comments because I don't really pay too much attention to Sunny. And also, I didn't know about that, V. I'm glad that you're still here. We'll talk about that at another time. I did not know about that. If you're comfortable with it, it's but
yeah.
On another note, not to minimize that in any way, shape, or form. Sunny, like I said, I just don't. I don't give too much merit to anything she says at this point. But as far as Hannah is her first name, right? Well, was her first name? I didn't know that I actually got to see her work. She worked at the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden, I believe. It was the Ring of Honor / New Japan Pro Wrestling show, WrestleMania week, actually. The night before I went to WrestleMania, I was at the Garden the night before that. So she was actually on that card. I think she was in a 6-person tag, I think. But don't quote me on that. So I didn't even remember that I had seen her work. 22 years old, man. I mean,
sorry to Jeff in advance. I'm just gonna say that right now. Sorry to Jeff in advance.
Sorry to Jeff in advance. Oh man,
it is. Her comments were just so disgusting.
Right. Yeah.
And, like, where is your couth? I just don't. Oh, then again, Sunny doesn't have much, but her comments were just disgusting, and I'm really tired of people playing down mental illness in general.
Right.
You know, Hannah does. Or I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it. I'm sorry. Somebody please correct me if I am. Yeah. But she deserved to be here. But she felt that she just couldn't do it anymore. And to all of you neck-beard, inbred, loose-tooth, wobbly-boned, still living with mama, ingrates wrestling fans that were also mean to her before and after her death, there's a special place in hell for you.
Definitely. Oh, man.
Okay. Now that I got that out, here's another thing. So there were some comments about Alexa Bliss.
Just recap the comments for the people that might not be familiar. I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with it, but, you know.
Made by a dummy JD from NY.
Who we don't associate with on this channel or any of our channels, but that's a whole nother statement. A whole nother story, excuse me.
JD from NY, Mean King V from BK. Now,
yeah,
his comments were basically, oh God, they're so gross. So basically, he compared Alexa Bliss's ring skills to how she might perform in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna start here, and Mike knows this. I've always been critical of Alexa Bliss's work because I know she's a lot better than what she has given us.
Yeah, taking my classes for this.
So, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I wasn't critical of Alexa Bliss's work. I was, because I know that she could give us better than what she's been giving us.
Right.
Now I understand, because of the concussion, given by, your fave, Mike.
Fave is a stretch, but okay.
It's not a stretch. It's right there. Fave? But I've always been critical of Alexa Bliss's work because I see her as anybody being close to Trish.
Yeah,
that's Alexa Bliss, and I know she's young and she's gonna get better with time. So I've always been critical of her work because I've seen her do a lot better than what she's given us.
Yeah.
So it's okay to criticize but to compare it to sexual relations, especially when it's a woman, is very gross. And let's just go ahead and start here. No woman wants you. Let's just start. Let's start with brass tacks. No woman wants you. It's just like, look how you act, look how you look. No woman in their right mind would want you. Yeah. Okay. And how would you know about sex, bruh?
Oh man. Oh,
so it's another one. Hey, because it's just like a lot of the comments that a lot of male wrestling fans have about women has always something to do with their looks, their sexual prowess.
Yeah.
And if they even watch them wrestle, they talk about how bad they are, even when they're not.
Right. Yeah.
And I just find that completely disgusting, egregious, and misogynist. And you can all get a hobby. Because if you're into women, none of them are going to want you.
Yeah.
Look at your life. Look at your choices.
Make better life decisions. Double or Nothing was last weekend. And overall, I thought it was a great show. What'd you think about it?
I agree. It was a really good. I don't really have any complaints about it. It was a solid show with solid matches, and nothing bad. You know, I give it a near fall.
Okay. What was your favorite match on the show?
The Stampede match.
Yeah, I mean that was entertaining. Really entertaining.
It was really entertaining.
Just fun,
it really was.
You know, Sammy running away. If they had Sammy running away from a golf cart every week, I would pop. Like, it's hilarious.
That was my favorite part, actually.
Yeah, it was great. I thought MJF and Jungle Boy had a really solid wrestling match. I thought that was really good. The ladder match was crazy. Brian Cage showed up. You know. So it looks like he's going to be in a main event program with Jon Moxley. Right. I had a feeling.
He was right.
Well, every now and then. Every now and then. Wild guess. But yeah, but no, I thought that was cool. Taz being utilized. We'll probably get into that a little bit more when we talk about AEW. But overall, Double or Nothing was great. Sheeta won the AEW Women's Championship from Nyla Rose. They had a really solid match as well. I wasn't expecting it either. I mean, we both predicted Nyla to retain, but when she lost, I was just like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? So, great show overall. No complaint. Moxley and Brody Lee had a really solid match. Also, that spot.
Oof.
What was it? The paradigm shift through the stage. Woo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Really solid stuff. Great show for me. I give it a near full. I'm gonna give it a 3 count. I ain't had no problem with it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give it a 3 count. I thought it was great.
I give it a near fall. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was a couple of things that didn't make me give it a 3 count, but it was a near fall. It was really good.
Okay. Let's get into Raw here. So Raw opened up with the KO show. Okay, Why is the Raw graphic so large? We're gonna get rid of that. We're live here, kind of. But we'll talk about Raw. Usually we have the Raw graphic.
Go for the pin. We're live.
Yeah, Well, we're live. We are here. We're live. But you guys are watching it.
Yeah, me, you, we're live together.
Right. Let's keep it moving here. I've had a little bit to drink. I think Via's also, so don't mind it. Just a tad. All right, so
more than tad.
Show opened up with the KO show segment with the woman that was going to be in the #1 contendership for the Raw Women's Championship, Charlotte, Nia Jax, and Asuka. It was okay. Whatever. I mean, I think it was all right. I'm
tired of Charlotte.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are. I get it. Yeah, whatever. I mean, Asuka was okay. So Charlotte, I guess she provoked Asuka, or Nia. Was it Nia? I can't even remember. I didn't even write it down. I think Nia provoked.
It was a lot going on.
It was a lot going on. I think Nia provoked Asuka. Asuka took a shot at Nia. That was pretty much the segment, I think.
I will say that Asuka is the best thing about Raw.
Yeah, she's like the MVP of Raw right now.
She's super entertaining. And before we move forward, shout out to WWE for kind of sort of biting off AEW from putting people in the crowd, which they should have been doing at least. But
I want to correct myself. I said Asuka was in the segment.
It was Natalya.
Yeah, it was Natalya. Yeah,
I mean, it was Natalya, Nia, and Charlotte. Yeah.
Right, because Asuka's champion. So
I had to think about that real
quick. Also, because I know they was gonna be killing us in the comments, so that's why I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just correct that right now. So yeah, it was fine. And then we had Apollo versus Andrade for the United States Championship, and Apollo got the win.
I popped hard.
Me too. That's when you know they're doing something right with Apollo. I just want to say that when I have an emotional reaction to something like that I'm supposed to have an emotional reaction to, I think you got to give them credit. They are building up Apollo, and I was proud of them. I'm like, man, I was clapping. I was happy.
About time.
Yeah, that's what I said too. So no problem there.
It was a really good match. It was a really good match. Yeah. Andrade having the little tantrum in the back.
yeah. Yeah, that was nice.
I guess that's building towards something, but I didn't really have a problem with the match. It was really good. It was solid. I love the result. They finally pulled the trigger on him.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward.
Yeah, I hope that they actually believe in him. And this is not just a transitional championship run, hopefully.
Yeah, because never mind.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully everything works out for Apollo Crews. So, moving on here, Seth Rollins had a promo, right? And he saw my Rey Mysterio, and so Rey is allegedly retiring this Monday, and I say allegedly because we know how wrestling retirements go.
I don't believe it. I feel like didn't they say the segment is going to be hosted by Seth Rollins?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
Or did I make that up in my head?
That'd be pretty interesting, though.
But
don't
regardless,
give them ideas.
I don't. They need them.
Yeah. Right.
I highly doubt he's gonna be retiring.
Yeah.
Not now, at least. I know it's coming.
Yeah.
But not right now.
Yeah.
I think this is like a Seth Rollins ploy, and I guess for me, maybe I'm getting a little Seth Rollins,
right?
Because also, sorry, yeah.
I think his stuff is pretty good. I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I think Seth Rollins is.
Oh no, I'm not saying that it's not good. It's just like, but yeah. I think this is a. Let me say this. I think this is a Seth Rollins play.
Could be. It could be. We'll see what happens this Monday night on Raw. We had an Iconics promo with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and I have written down here. I know words. Great promo. I thought it was awesome. I thought the Iconic that might have been one of my favorite Iconics promos they've ever cut on the main roster, at least. Maybe ever. I think they showed fire. They made me care about them. And Alexa and Nikki were great in this segment as well. I just think that the Iconics really brought it. Yeah. Go ahead, V.
I'm gonna say Nikki Cross has cut the best promo that I've seen her cut.
Okay, yeah.
I believed her.
Me too. But I believe the Iconics as well.
I do too. I'm gonna get to them.
Yeah.
But, I said the voice being critical of Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
Nikki was the star there.
Yeah,
of the team.
I think it was designed that way.
I hope so.
Yeah,
because she does deserve. The Iconics. I think they're gonna be reverting back to the iconic duo characters where they were a little bit more aggressive. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I really hope this doesn't lead to a breakup. It doesn't seem like it is.
No.
Maybe the slap was like to slap Peyton back into reality. Like, hey, girl.
Yeah.
But I want them to be a little bit more aggressive, and they did. They brought it. They did.
Yeah, I had no problem with this segment.
I see them snatching. Maybe not now, but SummerSlam. I think that's gonna be their crowning moment.
They laid them out at the end of the segment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll see. I thought it was great though. And that's what I need. This is what I need from the Iconics. This is what I was talking about. This is what I need. So yeah, no problem. So VIP Lounge, Drew McIntyre, Claymore is MVP. It was fine. It was fine. Like it was funny. I guess it was fine. So Kevin Owens loses to Angel Garza. Angel Garza's biggest win of his career, beating the former Universal Champion. What's going on with Kevin Owens here?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think that was a rub for him.
Yeah.
It was a huge one. It was. I don't know if this, turns into him turning heel. I don't know.
I hope
not.
We've seen it. We've seen it. Yeah. Kevin Owens has been a heel most of his career, even before WWE.
His career, yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
I agree. But he's so good at it. But I don't know what they're gonna do with Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. I can say this. I honestly don't. Right. Because it's like, if he's not in the main event picture, what are you doing with him? Is he just gonna keep doing the Kevin Owens show, or I don't
know.
But it was a big win for Angel.
Yeah, big win. Good for Angel Garza. So we had another installment of the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders.
Hated it. Next.
I liked it. I thought it was funny. Let's keep it going.
Hated it.
I know. The fact that V hates it so much and I actually am so entertained by it, it presents a good contrast here. I
hate it. And where is the EST? I'm tired.
You know where she's at? She's home
making stuff.
Yo, you read my mind. She's home making their gimmicks that they're winning on television.
Jeez.
I mean, well, would you rather them bring her to TV and do nothing with her? Like I'd rather them have something for her to do, instead of her just being there. So if this is setting up for her doing something, I'm all for it. Let's keep it moving here. So we had Austin Theory and Murphy beat Humberto Carrillo and Aleister Black in a tag match. Okay. Okay. Yeah, whatever. So Edge had a pre-tape. And Edge is just so good. Like, if you're trying to teach young wrestlers, how to cut a promo, have them watch what Edge, and I know you don't like them, but Orton also, what they're doing with just promo work. The match is going to be what it is, like, whatever. But when we're talking about promo ability and making you, when I look into Edge's eyes, I can tell he believes everything he's saying. Okay, and in that sense, he makes me believe everything he's saying. A+ promo for me. I thought it was great.
I'm not gonna disagree with you. I enjoyed the promo. I just don't care about the match.
Yeah, I still don't care about the match. I care about the person. I do care about Edge, but I don't really care about the match.
Just Edge.
Let's keep it going here. In the 3-way, Nia won for the #1 contendership for Asuka, as if there was any surprise to that.
That match was actually pretty decent.
It was all right.
It was okay.
Okay. I don't really have too much of a problem there.
I didn't have an issue with it. I'm glad it wasn't Charlotte for the 20,000th time.
Yeah.
Sucks for Natty, but
it's Natty. Like, at this point, it's like, it's Natty. I know it sucks to say that, but it's like,
it's Natty.
It's Natty. So.
Yeah.
What are you making of these Liv Morgan promos?
Okay, so with Liv Morgan, I'm going to say that I've always said this since the genesis of the show. I really like Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
I think that this is just grooming her to be a big star. And, it's very rare. Who am I, Elmer Fudd? It's very rare that... Wascally Wabbit. Anyway, it's very rare that we have female breakout stars. We have Trish, and we have Becky, and we have Chyna. We have Sable. We have Lita.
Yeah.
you know, people that were able to garner huge reactions from the crowd.
Yeah.
I think Liv Morgan is going to be one of those people when, eventually when crowds come back. I think with her, I think they're trying to push this character trying to find herself, in which, for a lot of young people, especially our age, because I think it's a little bit younger than we are.
Yeah, 25, 26, around there, somewhere.
Yeah, a little bit younger than we are.
Yeah.
I think it's relatable, especially the young women. So I think that they're going to push her as this relatable character who is just like everybody else, but she wants to stand out. I like what they're doing with Liv Morgan. Like her promos, the promos that she's been cutting have been relatable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just don't get what they're trying to do. Like, I hear what you probably explained it better than what they're actually doing. Like, I don't know. I just, it's hard to explain. I don't know how I don't know how I feel about it.
It's like, hey Siri, play "Just a Girl" by No Doubt. Like, it's just,
Google it if y'all don't know what he's talking about.
Oh wow! Hey Siri.
Oh, Siri Googled it for you? Or, I mean, Siri looked it up
for you?
Siri
really is about to play it.
Oh, man. So...
What's that?
So, yeah. I don't know. I need to see where it's going, obviously. I'm not going to, like, prejudge it. I'm not that invested in it at this point, I guess is the best way to put it. I like Liv. I've always liked Liv. Mm-hmm. I just... Mm-hmm. The promos... I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with it is the best way to put it.
Maybe I'm seeing what I want to see, but I really think they're gonna push her as the girl next door that just wants to be understood, and I feel like that'll get her over with a lot of the younger women.
Yeah,
because that's becoming a growing demographic in the wrestling world.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that would be good. I think she's gonna be a star. I think she's gonna be a star. I really think so, because it's just like off the promos alone and her ring work is getting better.
Yeah, she
has the ability to reach that stardom that Alexa Bliss should be at. Sorry.
Well, yeah. We'll see.
That's just honestly how I feel. Now, I love Alexa Bliss. I'm not JD from NY. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know that you're good at what you do, but you're taking it easy, and there's nothing wrong with that because you don't want to get another concussion. Thanks, Rhonda. But I think they have big plans for Liv. I honestly do.
Hopefully. So,
yeah.
In the main event, it was the Street Profits versus MVP and Bobby Lashley. This was set up because the Street Profits ran into MVP backstage, and, they had some type of segment that I didn't really pay too much attention to.
I didn't care about the segment. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
But I did like the match.
Yeah, I thought it was good. So, Drew McIntyre gets involved, right? They have a brawl after... I didn't even write down who won between the Street Profits and MVP and Lashley. I'm assuming that I didn't even write it down. That's sad. It's supposed to be a recap show kind of here, but this is the most unique recap show that you guys will see. We do it our way. I really don't. Guess what? The winner doesn't matter because it was all about the brawl at the end of the show where Lashley and McIntyre got into it, and then all of the NXT people that was in the crowd came and broke it up, and that was Raw pretty much.
Pretty much. I will say this. To quote Gretchen Wieners, wow, this is very on brand for me. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not gonna happen. Stop trying to make Bobby Lashley happen, because this I'm sorry. I don't see it. I never did.
What's your problem with Bobby Lashley, especially now that he has a manager?
I'm not entertained by him. MVP makes him interesting, just like Leo Rush made him interesting. Not even made him interesting. I paid attention to Leo Rush.
Yeah.
And is Bobby Lashley just doesn't have it to me. I'm sorry.
Wow. I mean, I don't think he's world champion material, but
Ooh, no, he's not. Sorry.
But I mean, upper mid card, heel definitely. I mean, I think Bobby Lashley has all of the tools. Man, I'm starting to slur my words here. All of the tools here. I'm really trying to see who actually won that main event match because it's kind of bothering me here.
It's in my notes. Hold on,
It's in mine somewhere. It's in mine somewhere. I just don't remember.
This is what happens when you don't date your notes, guys.
Yeah, so make sure you write it down. So it's okay. So Bobby Lashley put Tez in the full Nelson. He refused to release it.
Yes. He got disqualified.
Yeah. Did he? Yeah. Okay.
I think.
I didn't actually write down. Oh man, I don't know if they threw out the match or not. But yeah, he just had the full Nelson on. Whatever. Okay, so that was wrong. Like that was wrong. I was just trying to.
One more thing. Stop trying to make Rob Gronkowski a thing. I'm tired of it.
You know, they like to use celebrities.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. So let's keep it going here. We had AEW on Wednesday. So the show opened up with the Young Bucks. Actually, it opened up with the Inner Circle backstage, and they were so distraught after their Stadium Stampede match. They had all of these T-shirts made. Okay, they had a truckload of T-shirts made.
That was funny.
That said they won the match, and you know they don't know what they're gonna do. They have to recoup this somehow, and this was setting up for later on in the show. So great opening segment, no problem there. Then we had the Young Bucks and Matt Hardy versus Joey Janella and Private Party. With the Young Bucks and Matt Hardy getting the win. There was some injury angle with Mark Quinn, I believe.
I think that was real.
Okay, it might have been. Because I think Matt did say something about like, should we throw up the axe or something. I saw that. I saw him talking to the referee, so it might have been legitimate.
I think that was real, but I will say this about Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
Say what you want about him. Say what you want.
Yeah.
That man is a class act and a legend.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm
not saying you say anything about it, but I'm just saying he's a class act and legend. Like
definitely.
He broke one of his many characters to help him back to the back. Is if you want to be a professional wrestler, look at the careers of Matt. Look at the careers of Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Those who not only can go in the ring, but are the same ones to help in general.
Yeah.
It's very rare, and this is alti reduced shade, that it's very rare that you have one of the older guys that would help the younger talent.
Right.
So I applaud Matt for actually breaking character, and you can tell he broke character. Like, yo, you good? Like,
yeah.
But that was a really, despite the little injury and stuff like that, where they had to, improvise, it was a good match.
So I'm going to say this, right? Just throwing this out there. I don't know if this idea is out there. So what we had, I'm glad you brought up Matt Hardy's characters, right? Because this one, he was the original Extreme Matt Hardy from back in the day. So Young Bucks wanted him, they didn't want the broken one for that evening. They didn't want V1, they wanted the original Matt Hardy.
Team Extreme.
Yeah. Well, even like kind of pre-Team Extreme. This was like early days Matt Hardy. This was before.
Are we talking about like Brood Matt Hardy?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm waiting for.
Right, well,
that's what I'm waiting for.
This was like early 90s Matt Hardy, like 96, 97 Matt Hardy.
Yeah, it's just like around the maybe before Brutish days. Yeah, that's about.
Yeah, so okay, Mark Quinn gets this injury, right? And I'm doing air quotes because isn't it convenient that Matt Hardy helps Mark Quinn to the back. That leaves the Young Bucks out in the ring by themselves, which allows for the debuting FTR to come out there. Because think about it. Everybody else is gone. Because if Matt Hardy didn't help Mark Quinn, you know, Matt would have still been in the ring. So what happens, right, before we get to the FTR, Forever the Revival or After Revolt or whatever they're calling whatever they're calling them right now. FTR, before we get to their debut, there was a point in the match where Blade and Butcher was in the front row, and they got into it with the Young Bucks because somebody missed, and you know they was having this fight in the crowd, and you know, which led to Blade and Butcher getting in and attacking the Young Bucks after Matt and Mark and Cassidy was already out of there, right? So I'm sorry, that's just a little too convenient. So now, you know, so you see what I'm saying? If it was a legitimate injury, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I see where you're going there.
So if it was legitimate, I hope he's okay. But yeah, it seems a little too convenient for my taste. But I'm just saying. I
mean, fair enough. Only because I saw the gesture of like, should we go for the X? That's the only reason why I think it was legitimate. But if it wasn't, you worked me good. Thanks, Rihanna. And right. But skipping past that, FTR.
I went crazy. You know what it was? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, we kind of knew it was coming.
We did, but I thought they had a 90-day non-compete, so I didn't think they were legally allowed to. That's what it was. Right. So I was shocked. I'm like, wait a minute, because you hear I'm thinking that there's a production issue going on here because I'm hearing all of this stuff in the background, and then you see a car pull up, and I'm like, oh no, Cody's doing this again. But then it wasn't Cody. It was Dash Wheeler and Dax showing up, and they the FTR they acted like they was gonna attack the Young Bucks, but then they attacked Blade and Butcher. So, and Young Bucks, you know, wanted a sign of respect there. They just kind of was like, nah, we're good. They got back in the car and they drove off. Great opening segment. Like, great opening segment. Great opening match. That was awesome. Like, that was awesome.
That was honestly, you know, the rest of the show could have been complete and utter trash. That was the highlight of the show.
Yeah, but the rest of the show wasn't
complete and utter trash.
Right.
It's like, hey.
So let's keep it moving here. So Brian Cage beats Lee Johnson with Jon Moxley on commentary. Taz comes out, cuts a little bit of a promo after the Brian Cage match, and gives his famous words: "Beat him if you can, survive if he lets you." I'm invested. I'm invested.
I watch Brian Cage's work, so I know he's good.
Yeah. Super talented.
You add that element of Taz.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Brooklyn. You add that element of Taz, and it's oof. Yeah, I'm invested.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, he's a good wrestler. Then you have a manager that took his behind off.
It was a great wrestler in his own right. You know?
Okay, ECW, but I'm invested in Brian Cage as long as he keeps Taz by his side.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that without Taz that I wouldn't be invested. I'm just saying, you know, keep Taz by his side.
Yeah, so
it's a good look.
It is. It's a great look. Let's just keep it going here. So Britt Baker cut a good promo. She had the board up there, and she's calling it a conspiracy against her. Aubrey Edwards was right in the middle. Thought that was hilarious. She actually said that Chris Statlander being an alien is a crack of shit, which I thought was hilarious.
I thought that was funny also. I was just like, okay, yeah. All right, I see. Okay, I'm okay with it.
I thought it was good. She was the one that actually told us that she will be back for All Out, so we don't know if All Out is going to be in Jacksonville or if they're going to have fans by that time. We'll see what happens there. Sheeta had an enhancement talent match against Christy James. You know, just to showcase she wins the match.
It was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute.
So Cody Rhodes cut a great promo as well. A lot of great promos on the show.
It was a lot of, yeah, I agree.
A lot of great promos on the show. That's what I will say about AEW. Their promo work, I think, is miles ahead of WWE, just because I feel like they allow them to go out there more often, and just, you know, kind of shoot from the hip there. You know, like just go out there and do their own thing. I feel like, yeah.
You take that, and then you have like the Sons of Death Road.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
And you know, you have all of these people that are a part of the roster that know how to talk.
Right.
And you know, Jake the Snake, Arn Anderson, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
You know, Cody, and then you know, Taz. You have all of these people that know how to talk.
Yeah.
So if, let's say, we have someone that's struggling in that department, you go over some stuff with them. You know, it might take a couple of tries because everybody's not perfect. Everybody's not going to be like Macho Man on the mic. No, not everybody's going to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, with enough practice and enough creative freedom, that's important also, that they can talk circles around anybody in the WWE.
Yeah.
So this is like, yeah.
He basically said that he's gonna defend the title each week, so we'll see what happens. And that, not to judge him on his previous work, but to judge him with what he does going forward. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I agree.
So we had Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc versus SCU. They beat SCU. I am assuming that they're gonna have a number one contenders match, or maybe that was the number one contenders match. I'm sorry, I didn't write that part down, but I think they are. I think they're gonna have a match against Adam Page and Kenny Omega next week on Dynamite. So I believe that is what is happening. And they had a funny part of the show with Kenny and Adam Page. So
we're in that room with the milk. Yeah,
so it was a little weird because the first thing I said, I'm watching because JR said that they're gonna have an update on Kenny and Adam from their hotel when, you know, doing the commercial, so don't go anywhere, right? So we go to picture in picture, and there's a so now they have a hidden camera and
now they're calling us. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Because Adam Page looks up, he's like looking at the camera, like, is this thing? It's on. And then Kenny's like, yeah, it's on us. I thought it was funny. And then they just, all right, well, Adam went back to drinking his beer, and Kenny went back to drinking his milk. I thought it was funny. It was funny.
Yeah.
So MJF came out there, cut a promo, and they had a battle royal. No, he had a promo in the back. And then they had a battle royal. Jungle Boy won the battle royal. So now Jungle Boy is going to go against Cody, I believe, for the TNT Championship next week. I think so. Yeah, I think that's what the battle royal was for. I think so.
There was a lot going on there.
It was. I think so. It came down to Jungle Boy and Orange Cassidy, actually. And Orange Cassidy was attacked by the Inner Circle before the match by Santana and Ortiz before the match started, because they were cutting a promo in the back a few segments before that, and Orange Cassidy, because he's Orange Cassidy, just kind of wandered into their shot and in a circle. Because why not, right? Because why not? So yeah, I'm looking, is that Orange Cassidy? And they just, you know, but yeah, so you know, Santana and Ortiz got revenge for Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy gets back into the battle royal, and it comes down to him and Jungle Boy wins the match. No problem. Whatever. You know, no problem. No. Then we got to the pep rally. Okay. Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle come out there. You had cheerleaders. You had Vicky Guerrero as one of the cheerleaders.
Vicky Guerrero is so, people forget how entertaining she is. She is so funny.
She is. She's hilarious.
She's funny. She is.
I thought that was good. And then you know, the Inner Circle comes out there, and they all have gifts for each other. I popped. I know nobody else did, but I popped when Santana gave Ortiz the chopped cheese. I was like, yes, chopped cheese. If you're not from New York City.
Okay, so I saw that, and I was like, did they just... Nah, they didn't just do it.
And yes, Kara Hogan, I know I still owe you a chopped cheese. I haven't forgotten.
Okay. Keep barking up that tree.
I have a comment that I'm not gonna say on air here, but yeah, please continue.
Be careful.
No, I know.
All right.
Sip this. Yeah, we're gonna move right along there.
Yeah. Moving on.
I'm sorry, man. We have to. After this week, like I said, it's good to be able to talk to my brother of over 20 years. You know what I'm saying, and just have fun, talk a little wrestling, and just have fun and just take your mind off. And that's hopefully if we're providing that for you.
If you're feeling heavy, hopefully this provides you some kind of laughter. Yeah. If you don't get it, try to laugh along.
Yeah, right.
It's okay.
But it's a long thing going on.
It's a lot of really, really specific, but hopefully us being silly. This is really our friendship here. Us being silly would be comforting to you all, depending on how you all feel it. Everybody needs a break sometimes.
Definitely. So just continuing with the segment. So yeah, everybody had gifts for each other. Jake Hager wrote a poem, which was kind of funny. I didn't write down the verbiage. Just watch the poem if you didn't see it.
Yeah, I could because I was laughing. I really could. I was like, no, I can't do this.
So they get over to Jericho, I should say. Like, what does Jericho want? They asked Jericho because all of them had gifts, right? So they asked Jericho, Chris, what do you want? And he said he wants Mike Tyson's head on a swivel, right?
Okay, speaking of Brooklyn, why would you do that?
Well, because he remembers what happened 10 years ago on a Monday night, B. That's why he did it.
Which brings it back. Why would you do that?
He said he never got over that night. What happened 10 years ago on a Monday night? Of course, we're talking about Monday Night Raw.
All right, he'll knock you 10 years back.
Exactly. So, of course, he was talking about Iron Mike. Iron Mike comes out there with his whole crew, and they basically recreate the whole Tyson-Austin segment from '98. I'm hearing mixed reviews about it because people thought it was a direct knockoff, okay, and people didn't like it.
I agree.
And some people thought it was entertaining. So I'll let you.
It was entertaining, but it was a complete knockoff of '98. But it's fine because honestly, I think when you bring people in that may not be wrestlers but are wrestling fans, I think that those segments are a lot better because just like, okay, so you may not know, exactly what the business is. You have an idea, but you've been watching for so long. That's like saying having us be in the segment. I'm taking bumps.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, because Tyson is a fan and because he's a hoorer, the three of us are from the same place, so
definitely
not the same neighborhood, but the same place. But it was fun. I see why there were criticisms about it, and I agree. But it wasn't a terrible segment. It wasn't. And it gets eyes on AEW.
Definitely.
I don't know how WWE feel. They can get over it, but
it'll be all right.
It'll be okay.
Yeah. So, okay, what'd you think about AEW? What's your counts for AEW this week?
I am going to give it maybe I'm gonna give it a near 4.
Okay. Get that up there.
Yeah.
All right. There it is.
Yeah, there's certain aspects of it I was like, but overall, it was a really good show. Yeah. Like, I was entertained throughout the whole entire. Like, I didn't like, oh, forget this, and then leave. But it was a really solid show. Yeah, I'm being nice this week because I was very entertained this entire week. So.
Yeah, and WWE copying from AEW, like you mentioned. Or you know what? I'm not gonna just. Okay, It's probably something they thought about as well. They just didn't do it, but AEW actually did it, you know, and I give WWE credit for taking an idea that was working and using it for themselves. I'm not even mad at that. So I feel like that actually helped my overall entertainment.
It really made it better.
Yeah.
They should have did this months ago.
Exactly.
They really made it better.
Let's leave that near full up there because I'm giving it a near full as well. I thought it was a great show. Not a 3 count yet for me. I felt like if they would have did something different with the Tyson and Jericho segment, it probably would have got a 3 count for me. I feel like just because I've seen Tyson insert, you know, wrestler, yeah, before, you know, with Austin, and they kind of did it better, you know, because it was the first one, you know, so
it was the first one, yeah.
So
and Tyson was huge at the time.
Yeah. So, but you know what? Overall, I was very entertained by AEW. I thought it was a great show. So leave the near full up there. Yeah, and that's the only thing that would have made it a 3 count for me. If you know the segment was different. So let's get that off the screen and let's keep it moving here. And let's go to NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So NXT. Let's see here. So it opened up with the finals for the cruiserweight. The #1 contendership for the finals for the Cruiserweight Championship. And, you know, we had Kushida versus Drake Maverick versus Jake Atlas. And Drake Maverick actually won the match.
I have something to say.
Yeah,
because usually I drag these segments because I really don't care.
Okay.
The finish, I really liked.
Very creative.
Very creative. I'm going to go back to what I was saying before. You know, during the genesis of the show, I feel like Drake Maverick being fired doesn't work.
At this point, it seems like it, right?
It really seems like it. Because at this point, don't bring that man all the way up to the finals for him to lose. Don't bring it. And if you're going to do that, re-sign him.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, re-sign him. Because at this point, I'm invested in Drake Maverick.
Yeah.
I want him to win this. I want him to win the whole thing. That is a redemption story. That is a comeback story. Let him, and I think with the crowd, it would have been a lot better. But, with an actual crowd,
right,
it would have been a lot better. But I really like this match. I can't complain about it. It was really good. It was a lot of good near falls.
Yeah, same. And for those that didn't see the finish, so Kushida basically, he had on his armbar, and while on Jake Atlas, and while he had the armbar on Jake Atlas, Drake Maverick came in and put one shoulder over Jake while he was in the armbar. 1, 2, 3. Drake Maverick gets the win, and then we see on replay though, Jake actually tapped out before that 3 count. So Kushida actually has an argument that he won that match. And we saw that actually later on play into a promo backstage. But Kushida, being the gentleman that he is, right, he said, no, you go win the Cruiserweight Championship. And then Drake said
he better win too.
Yeah, I think at this point I think he's going to, but I'll is it next week? It's next week, right? It's not at TakeOver. I think it's next week. If it's next week, yeah, I think Drake should win it. You know, I think he should win it.
Yeah, he's earned it, and I'll honestly be legitimately hurt if he lost.
Yeah,
I'll be that he deserves this. I will say that he deserves this.
So it's Drake Maverick versus Fantasma next week on NXT, I believe. I don't think it's at TakeOver. I think it's on TV.
Think it's next week.
Yeah. So
fact checkers, but yeah,
I think it is. So Johnny Gargano had a squash match against Adrian Adonis. I don't know what his last name was, but it was a squash match.
Squash matches. I didn't care for the match itself, but I did like the segment after.
You did? I thought it was. I was not. I thought it was kind of cringy, to be honest with you.
I like it because it was supposed to be a parody.
It was.
And a lot of people did what a parody means.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know your feelings about Mia. You'll be okay.
I don't hate her. I don't hate her.
But for me, I see where this is going. It could have been a little bit better by Mia. I will agree. I will say that.
Yeah.
But Keith Lee naturally makes me laugh.
Yeah, Keith was funny. And the part where Tegan came in there and she has a key. That was funny. Tegan Knox comes in during the segment.
That was funny. That was like, she has a key.
She has a key.
Okay.
Yeah, like
it was the piece that was funny. So I'm invested in this.
Yeah, because I'm invested in the people that's involved. Yes, even Mia. I'm invested in the people that's involved. So yeah, I'm invested, but I didn't think the segment was that good. To be honest, just my personal opinion, I didn't think the segment was that good.
I liked it. I didn't hate it.
Okay. All right. Well, we had Shotzi Blackheart versus Raquel Gonzalez. Scary moment in this match. Okay. Shotzi does a...
Oh, my God. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Bro, I got up and was like, oh, my God. I was holding my mouth the whole time. Like, so she basically does a version of the coffin drop, but nobody caught her, right? Dakota Kai was on the floor with Raquel Gonzalez, and yeah, she did. Shotzi, basically springboard. She did a springboard from the ropes, and nobody caught her, and she landed on her head, and it was just,
oh my God,
it was so scary.
I was legitimately like, I said a lot of expletives that I said enough on this show. So I said a number of expletives. And because I was like, is she okay?
Right.
Because that looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, she landed hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, Raquel winds up getting the win after Dakota Kai. Well, okay, so
Candice came out,
right. And
no, because Tegan came out, then Candice came out.
Tegan came out because Dakota Kai was trying to get involved in the match, and she was trying to taunt Shotzi. So Tegan comes out there just to even the odds a little bit, and then Candice comes out because Tegan was involved with the segment with Mia and Keith. It's like, how dare you, right? So after that, there was some commotion on the floor. With Tegan and Dakota, Tegan and right? Or Tegan and Candice, excuse me, Tegan and Candice.
Yeah.
And the referee was looking that way, right? Like towards the ramp, excuse me. And during this melee, right, Dakota gets up, helps Raquel, and Shotzi does the JOB, as we like to call it. So, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I thought it was fine.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of continuity there.
Yeah, right, definitely.
So I don't have a problem with it. It was okay.
Yeah. So then we had Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte and a mystery partner, and that mystery partner was Chelsea Green. Pretty standard tag team match. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay.
I didn't hate it. I always jump when you hear that's my brutality because I never see it coming.
Yeah, like, oh, okay.
Even though I know she's gonna be in a match,
right? Yeah,
like, oh, whoa.
Hey. But where'd you come from? Yeah,
but hey, but it was a pretty standard tag team match.
Yeah,
I kind of expected that ending.
Yeah. So what happened in the ending?
I think who Io loses, I think.
Yeah, so Io accidentally
knocked off the apron.
Yeah, Io accidentally knocked Rhea off the apron. Charlotte, being a Flair, of course, rolls up Io, foot on the ropes, tights, all of that, everything you name it, and she gets the win over Io Shirai here. It was fine,
Yeah,
big win for Chelsea Green though. Not so much for Charlotte, but big win for Chelsea. I mean, so yeah, I thought it was okay. I guess you see the trend going here with NXT. With AEW, I was like, yo, that was awesome, that was great. And NXT, for me, maybe this will like, you know, show how I kind of feel about the show right now. It's like, it's okay. It's all right. Adam Cole had a segment with William Regal, and he's making all these demands. Regal had a funny line in that segment where, you know, Adam was complaining, and Regal was like, "Yo, stop acting like a baby." It was so corny. That was funny. That was hilarious.
It was so slick.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like, oh, stop acting like a baby, and then you sit and wait to catch it. It was so like a baby, and he kept going. So it's just like, okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You know, if you would have blinked, you would have missed it.
Yeah.
I liked it. You know, William Regal is a Hall of Famer. Please put him in a Hall of Fame.
Definitely.
He deserves. He's given so much, especially in NXT.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But the segment wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Regal is actually really, if you really think about just bringing it back to the late Shad, that segment with William Regal and Crime Time.
Yeah.
When William Regal was rapping.
Yeah.
William Regal is really funny, and people miss that.
Yeah.
don't catch it often, but William Regal is really funny. He's really entertaining. So, I don't have a problem with that segment. I know they're gonna push the whole him versus Velveteen Dream, and since the previous things that have been going on hasn't really gained any traction, which makes people think that, the person. I'm not gonna go there, but with the previous things, just like, okay, what's gonna happen with Adam Cole next? He's been champion for a year.
Yeah. Does
Velveteen beat him in your house and he gets called up, or does Velveteen lose and gets called up? Because at this point, somebody's getting called up.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, we gotta keep it moving here. So basically, we got like you said, Takeover in your house, Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole. If Velveteen Dream loses, he never gets another shot at Adam Cole for the championship. So we'll see what happens there. We had Leon Ruff. Okay, Leon Ruff. Versus Tommaso Ciampa. It's been a rough week for Leon, huh? I had to get that in there. All right, so basically it was a squash match. Okay, Leon gets a quick roll up because Scarlett was distracting Tommaso, but in the end, Tommaso hit the fairy tale ending on Leon Ruff. Okay, not to be confused with Leo Rush, and
not to be confused of Mandy Rose's finishing move, Bed of Roses.
Right, exactly. You know, that's a whole nother story there. Same finish, but anyway. So yeah, build up towards Champa and Killer Cross. No problem. Whatever. Okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
Then we had the main event segment. We had Timothy Thatcher versus Matt Riddle in a cage fight. Not a steel cage match, a cage fight.
I was left speechless. I'm not gonna lie, I was left speechless at the end of the match.
Yeah. With Kurt Angle as a special guest referee. I just had to throw that in there.
I forgot you love Kurt Angle. This was match of the night. I am just gonna go ahead and say that. This was match of the night. They were definitely legitimately fighting.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was crazy.
Clearly, once we moved to SmackDown, this was Matt Riddle's swan song.
Yep.
And if he was gonna go out,
what a way, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem with that. If you guys didn't see it, check it out. It was a real MMA style type fight.
I was cringing the whole time.
Yeah. That was so. You enjoyed that more than you enjoyed those two last week, right? What was it last week?
Absolutely.
Okay, so all right, yeah. So what do you think about the show? What do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a Nerfall.
Wow. Okay, there it is. There's the graphic.
Yeah, I wasn't. It wasn't perfect.
No,
like Mister. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it got the job done, and the only reason why I gave it a near fall instead of a 2 count, because that was actually going to be my original rating for it, is because of that last match.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that.
Because it was just that last match was phenomenal to the point that it was able to push my rating up from a 2 count to a near fall.
Okay, I'm sticking with the 2 count. Yeah,
I used to rate the show when I'm writing it down.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with a 2 count here. I thought it was all right. I thought the show was okay. I thought the main event was really strong, really strong. Like I thought it was great, but I'm gonna stick with a 2 count overall because judging the show overall, I thought overall it was a 2 count with a strong main event, but overall still a 2 count. All right. Almost done here. We're getting there. Yeah,
we're about to lay the snack down on your candy asses.
Shout out to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Okay. SmackDown here. So SmackDown, right off the bat, got my attention. We start off with we start off in the parking lot. Man, those Florida parking lots are very dangerous, right, V? So we start off in the parking lot. That's a whole nother story. We see Elias laid out on the floor. Okay, paramedics is checking on Elias. We see this car that apparently ran into a stop sign or something. The doors is all out and everything. It looked crazy, right? The cops is on the scene, medical personalities on the scene. Renee Young's out there, don't know what happened, what's going on, right? And they check the car, right? Of course, they find alcohol in there. And then they find a registration or maybe some type of identification that said it was Jeff Hardy's rental car. The plot thickens here, right? So now they're looking for Jeff Hardy. We go over to the side. We're still outside here. And we see Jeff Hardy's like laid out or on the ground or something. And they arrest Jeff Hardy right in front of poor Jason Jordan and Jamie Noble. They arrest Jeff Hardy because it looks like Jeff Hardy was drunk. This is what it looked like. And he ran into Elias or something happened with Elias. So very interesting start to SmackDown. I will say that.
So I'll just say this. I said what I said about Jeff Hardy last week.
Yeah.
I know it may have sounded as insensitive. That really was not my intention. However, it's just the whole notion of accountability.
Right.
At the same time, using this here with Jeff Hardy, I think to me, just to King V, is not a good idea because that, unless, of course, he was just like, of course, still I had to do it. I just think that it could be triggering to him.
Yeah.
And I just don't want storyline to be made reality again.
Right.
So that's why I personally wasn't a fan of it. Even though, it was well done. Yeah. I just wasn't a fan of it because it could be, one, deemed as insensitive, to Jeff in general.
Yeah.
And I just don't want it to trigger him and relapse him. That's really my main concern with Jeff Hardy. That's just how I feel.
I can definitely understand your concern, and I can see that. However, I thought that it was strong because it was based on Jeff Hardy's yeah. And the best storyline, I shouldn't say the best, some of the best storylines come when there are real life aspects involved in it. So I feel like if Jeff is okay with this, and as long as it isn't triggering anything, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might not trigger anything right now, and then you never know. But as a viewer, right, as a wrestling viewer and as a fan, I thought this was great. I thought, all right, you want my attention? You got it. Right from the opening start of the show, you got it. They didn't give us any SmackDown like opening intro signature or anything like that. They just right to the parking lot. And then they went to the commercial right after. I thought that was great. Great opening segment with Jeff Hardy to me. Lot of stuff going on there. Right. So then, of course, we have an argument in the back with a lot of the wrestlers, some of which that's supposed to be involved in the Intercontinental Championship tournament, namely Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. And AJ Styles, of course, because he's a heel, says, all right, well, that just means that I don't have to face anybody, which in reality, he is right. Bryan was stupid here because Bryan said, nah, I still want to fight for my opportunity. No, bro, you didn't run over anybody. Like, no offense, what I'm saying? Allegedly, exactly, allegedly. So no, take the bye, okay, and you and AJ for the Intercontinental Championship. Come on, you know what I'm saying? So I agree with AJ there. Bryan was being a stupid babyface in this situation because Bryan was just like, nah. I want to face somebody. So what do? They have a battle royal to see who's going to face Bryan in the main event, which would lead to who is going to face AJ Styles, I believe in 2 weeks on SmackDown. So Sheamus wins this battle royal, right? Whatever. I kind of expected Sheamus to win anyway, to be honest with you. So Sheamus wins the battle royal. I didn't really have too much to say about it. Yeah, all right. So Sonya Deville faced Lacey Evans after Lacey pushed her in the backstage or whatever, and they fought to a count out. So it looks like this rivalry is gonna continue. Some good wrestling by both in the beginning of the match.
I was really entertained by this match. I really liked it. Sonya just continues to be good. Yeah. Lacey with the snide comments, and she was supposed to be the babyface in this, but it was a lot of good trash stuff with her.
Yeah.
This match, I don't have a problem with it. Granted, the ending, I'm just like, oh my god, it count out. But I don't have a problem with it. I like heel Sonya.
Yeah.
I've said this before. And I just want to see what she can do. I'm happy for the growth that she's showing.
Same.
It was a good show for the both of them.
Yeah, definitely. No problems there. So, how do you feel? Whoa, I know words. How do you feel about the Forgotten Sons promo? Now, I'm gonna say this, right? SmackDown was taped tonight, right? So I'm gonna assume that this was taped before everything that's been going on, obviously, in the world here. But their lines about,
and that's part of the reason why I didn't like the beginning. I didn't like the Jeff Hardy segments because I was like, "Ooh, this is insensitive."
Yeah.
I didn't really care about the Forgotten Sons.
You know what I cared about? I cared because of the line, our blood was on your hands. Now your blood is going to be on our hands. I thought that was crazy, but again, and I know they said it last week also because I've been paying attention. I know.
I mean, I could say the same thing.
Right.
Anyway.
So, moving on. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I just think it is a little insensitive for right now, but I think this was. I think that this was done before everything happened this week. So I'm gonna give them a pass on that. I don't think they did that blatantly. So let's keep it moving here. We had a moment of bliss with the New Day. And,
I'm hot.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on. Uh-oh.
I'm hot, y'all.
Oh, you good? You got to pause?
Oh my god.
We going? We good?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Just want to make sure. All right. So we had a moment of bliss with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They had the New Day out there, a little bit of comedy, and then Sasha and Bayley come out there, and Alexa had a good, and we know the storied history between Alexa and Sasha, the real storied history. But so Alexa had a pretty stiff line here that I even was like, oh, like, so she's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 titles. Sasha, where's your title? I was like, oh, wow, because everybody legit. How'd you feel about the segment and then the match that wound up following Sasha versus Alexa?
So I didn't understand the presence of New Day, even though I love them dearly.
Yeah.
Nikki is funny. I will say this. Nikki is very funny to me. How she made the pancakes by hand.
Yeah, that was funny.
Was like, that was funny.
And Biggie pulling out the what is it? The beans out of his singlet. That was kind of funny.
Yes. I was like, gross. However, I'll save that for another time.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind the segment. When Sasha and Bayley came out, I was like, oh god, I know this is gonna be Sasha and Alexa. And look at me being right.
Oh, okay.
And how Sasha threw the jacket at Alexa. I was like, oh god, I hope they discuss this before doing this.
Because Alexa looked like legit tight, but she looked upset.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that could just be how good of a performer both of them are. So,
or they might be working us. They might be cool. I think
they are now. I think they are now. They weren't, because I remember SummerSlam 2017. Okay, so no, they weren't always cool.
Oh my god! But I love the hair armband from Sasha, as well as the Chad armbands from New Day.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's touch, very classy. Bayley was annoying, and I think that was the point.
Yeah.
And then it was the match between Alexa and Tasha.
Yeah.
Where Sasha gets a W finally.
Yeah.
The commentary was funny, and by commentary I mean Nikki and Bayley, because I don't find Michael Cole entertaining. I never have, never will. And I don't like Corey Graves. So, the two women were the highlight of the commentary of that segment.
I hated it. I hated it. I thought it was distracting. I was trying to watch the match, and it was just like,
I think that was the point. It was the point.
So the point is to distract me from a match that's going on in the ring between Alexa and Sasha?
No, the point. No. The point was for. It was supposed to show the tension, because you didn't really hear Bayley, cheering for Sasha.
Yeah, I didn't get the tension. I just was annoyed. I was like so annoyed.
That's fair. It was irritating after a while, but I think King V thinks hashtag King V thinks that it served its purpose.
Right.
I'm ready for the slow burn to end.
Yeah.
But I will say this: Sasha and Bayley know how to storytell.
Yeah.
And you see it every week. It doesn't have to be actions. It could just be facial expressions.
Right.
So, I catch everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was as bad. Commentary did get annoying between them after a while, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I was so annoyed by it. I'm like, all right, please. I was kind of wishing somebody cut their mics off. Like, it was that bad. I'm like, Nikki sometimes is funny, and Bayley's good at what she does, and in the sense of what she's doing right now. But it gets to the point where, like, all right, it's a little too much. Like, there's over the top, and then there's what they was doing last night. You shouldn't be distracting from the performers inside of the ring. Like, I get your performance as well, but you, like, you know what I'm saying? You're not wrestling right now. So that's my stance on that. We had a segment between Mandy and Otis. So
you can skip my opinion for this.
Okay, I'm gonna say my opinion. I thought it was hilarious. Now, when you talk about, like, especially when Mandy was like daydreaming, and like, man, they First of all, why is Mandy so happy? You lost to Sonya 2 times. You should be in the gym somewhere, like trying to figure out a game plan of how to beat Sonya Deville. Cause Sonya's moving on. Sonya's already messing like with Lacey and and that storyline. So, but Mandy's on a beach somewhere or wherever she was with Otis, like happier than a daisy. Get your head in the game, girl. Like, I'm kidding. I actually enjoyed this segment. I thought it was very entertaining. To me, I know King V doesn't want to comment on this, but I will say that when Mandy,
if you don't want to be me to be mean, I'm keeping it to myself.
When and then there was a part where like Mandy was like, I guess acting like she was turned on by Otis, like putting in quotation marks. That's what she was doing. No, that's what she was doing. Yeah, come on. She was acting like she was. So. And then at one point, she kind of did the angle. Well, she brought back, what was it, a DX segment or something where like or like a Val Venus throwback where like she had a bottle of like lotion in her hand and it kind of like skirted out. I thought that was funny. V hates it. I thought it was hilarious. I really did. I thought it was hilarious. But Mandy's such a good sport. Let's just put it that. Let's put it that way. Mandy's being a very.
Ooh, you're gonna have to be a good sport, but
so let's move on. We had the main event segment. We had the main event segment after we had a Matt Riddle. After we had a Matt Riddle video package, he is officially a part of SmackDown. So we had a Matt Riddle video package, and
I saw that coming.
Yeah, definitely. Bryan versus Sheamus, good match in the main event. Bryan actually gets the win after Jeff Hardy escapes from jail allegedly, right? And comes in and attacks Sheamus after Bryan gets the 3 count, and looks like we're off to the races with Jeff and Sheamus.
Okay, so the match wasn't bad. I didn't understand like Jeff Hardy randomly coming back. Like, did you escape jail? Did you get bailed out?
You escaped, B.
Because I was gonna say something. Never mind. But it's like okay, all right,
yeah,
sure. I guess Jeff and Sheamus is the story moving forward. I don't know how that's gonna end. I guess. But overall, show-wise,
yeah,
it gets a 2 count from me.
2 count, okay. All right, let's get the 2 count up there. Yeah, there it is. Okay,
It gets a 2 count.
Okay.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't like abysmal.
Same. I'm gonna leave the 2 count up there. I think it. Yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought I was entertained. Put it that way. I was entertained. Especially opening segment was crazy. So yeah, no problem there. Any last words before we get up out of here? I know we've been on for a while tonight. Thank you all for rocking with us. Oh, before you do that, so next week we won't be on Go for the Pin. Some editing issues and technical issues for next week, so we won't be here next week. We might do something like on my channel, so just stay tuned for that. If you follow us on social media, myself or King V _ the ruler, that is, or DJ Mike EQ on Twitter. Just follow us and like we'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, that's it's pretty much it. Before we do the plugs here, yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. So I know I got a little emotional in the beginning. I take the whole mental illness thing very, very seriously, and because I've struggled with it.
Yeah.
So I said what I said about Sonny.
Mm-hmm.
I said what I said, and that's not going to change.
Yeah.
But, check on your friends. I think that King V is going to leave you with that. Check on your friends because you never know. And, you know, there are Haywards. Yeah. There are hotlines that you could reach out to if you are feeling away and you don't want to turn to your friends. There are hotlines that are available. Right. And if anybody that listens to the show or watches the show feels away and want to contact me, you can just you can DM me. Right. And I'll send you, I'll talk to you. I'm trying not to get emotional here. I'll talk to you. I'll send you the numbers, depending on where you live at. Yeah. Because, granted, you can say that it shouldn't have happened, but once someone really makes up their mind with what they want to do with themselves, afterwards, it's hard, but try to make peace from it because that person is no longer suffering. Yeah, that's it's controversial, but it's honestly the truth. Definitely. So yeah, King V _ the ruler. I will talk to you if you need it. I have no problem doing that.
Okay, yeah, King V _ the ruler. Make sure that you guys check out Greg Cherry. They just did the wrestling trivia for this week. See if he's still champion or not. You got to go over to YouTube.com.
We have to battle this man. We have to. Me and you. We have to tag team. We have to battle this man.
Jeff, set it up.
We need to have this happen.
Jeff, set it up. I'm saying it right here. Set it up. So YouTube.
Greg Cherry. We're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna cut a quick promo. Okay, I'm calling you out. Period. I'm calling you out. I want to see what you can do. So King V _ the ruler, if you want some, just bring it. Oh, that's it.
If he's still champion, because we don't know. We don't know if he's still champion. If he's still champion.
But if you are still champion, let's just put this in perspective. Eventually, everybody bows down to the king.
There you go.
That's how it is.
YouTube.com/Greg Cherry Brand or Twitter.com/Greg Cherry Brand.
I'll just get dragged. It's so fun. I'm actually really want to get this done, get this popping.
Let's see this happen. Instagram.com/Greg Cherry Brand, Teespring.com/stores/Greg Cherry Brand. And while you're over at the Teespring store, you got to check out Jeff Meacham. Teespring.com.
The lovely Jeff.
Exactly. Good old JM Jeff Meacham. Teespring.com/stores. Teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham network. I've been noticing I've been saying dash. It's actually a hyphen, so sorry about that, Jeff. Make sure you guys follow NoDQ.com as well for the latest and greatest in wrestling news. So that's all the time we have for today.
Yes, and remember, stop killing us. Okay, bye, everybody.